Welcome to the Advertising Heat Check, where we keep a real-time pulse on what's heating up and cooling off in marketing and advertising. These are honest insights from marketers actually in the arena right now. That's what we're bringing to you. Each episode, we ask two simple questions: what's heating up and what's cooling down? I'm Matt Behrend, and today I'm joined by Alex McArthur. Alex is a legend in the D2C world. As CMO of Purple, he helped turn a mattress startup into the most searched for mattress brand in the world, powered by some of the most famous viral video advertising ever made, including a Webby Award winner. He's been named Utah Business CXO of the Year, served on the Google Retail Advisory Council, went on to lead marketing at Kizik, the hands-free shoe company you've probably seen. And today he's the fractional CMO that many growth stage brands are calling when they need a playbook that actually works. Alex, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me, Matt. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words. I'm here in my mom's. She's 86 years old and she has chosen to move into a senior care facility. So I'm here moving everything. So forgive the doily background and the turquoise wall, but this is my mom's place. But great with you. Thanks for having me.
I love it. It actually reminds me of some homes I'm very fond of from my past. So it's great. Well, before we dive in, I heard you started out in computer science at BYU before jumping into communications. I have to imagine that engineer brain meets storyteller combo is kind of your secret sauce.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at marketing, you see kind of two camps. You see the performance-led camp and you see the storytelling kind of legacy CMO camp of like positioning and all that stuff. And to win these days, you have to do both well. And, early on in my career, I decided to start out on the tech side. So leaned more that way. Computer science seemed like, the future in the late 90s, right? And so I started out that way and then really quickly got into the digital side of things. Like as SEO was becoming a term, got deep into marketing. So started out more on the technical side. And the older I get, the more I've loved the creative side and amplifying that, because I see repeatedly performance-led teams, no matter how good they are, they always get stuck at some point, and you have to add on good multiplying storytelling. So the better the story is, the more multiplying success you see on top of the performance work.
I love it. Well, it's time for the heat check. Tell me what's heating up. What's working well for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, heating up right now, we all are tired of the AI responses, but there's just so much discovery happening there. First, we all treated AI like search, and now people are starting to really understand what they can do with code and co-work and setting up full automation from customer service. But the reality is finding the tension of the real versus the AI. And we all know that some humans are pushing back and we want to find that balance of the right automations mixed with the right human interaction. So that's something I think everybody's spending time on. It's clear that I love storytelling. And I think that's having a resurgence as well, where everybody's seeing so much slop out there. They want something real. And I'm not seeing as many brands invest in that. So the ones that are seeing real winning there. And then something else I've always believed in is if you're going to make an ad, make it iconic. Like try to win the category. Make the ad that everyone in the space talks about. Most people, it's funny that they don't think that way. They're like, we got to make a great ad. It's got to do this and this. But like, if you're going to make one, make the one that defines the category. And that's something I've always tried to do. So those are kind of three things that cross my mind is, AI automations, great storytelling, having a resurgence after so much automation, and then, shooting for iconic ads.
I love that. And I can see that pattern clearly in your history, your career, and all the success that you've had. Can you say more about the storytelling? What are you seeing there? What makes up a great story?
Yeah, I mean, back to that tension that I'm referring to, we're all feeling these divides in every parts of our life, whether it's political, the way we choose to live our lives or a million different things. It just continues to bubble up in the world. And, on the extreme where everybody's diving into AI for everything now, there's like a longing for real stories. And, people are often trying to find that through Instagram or, people putting good stories out there that way. But like people want to feel something in the end, and a good story lets people feel something. And, I've defaulted to humor a lot, but there's so many other ways you can go. And it just helps break through, and it makes people feel a connection to your brand. I mean, so few ideas now are new. So, everything's been done in most cases, and we're all trying to add an AI layer to an old idea right now. And I see that over and over. But like, people want to feel something. So the brands that can leverage all this new technology mixed with a great story are going to be the ones that rise through all this AIification of everything right now. So that's why I say I continue to see storytelling getting this second wind with the brands that are going to break through.
So you basically wrote the book on viral product demo videos. Do you think that playbook is still hot, still heating up, still useful, or has it evolved? Is it something else now?
Yeah, I mean, viral doesn't work like it used to. And number one, I want to clarify, there's a lot of people that have been in this space, and I've learned a lot from tons of people. So I don't want to stake the claim as owning that, but kind of you to say. Harmon Brothers, a bunch of other people have helped me, and we've done a lot of partnerships together. I change it from the viral ad to the iconic ad, like shooting to define the category where, again, when I talked about those two camps, you had the performance camp that's going to talk about features and price and those kind of things. Then you had the brand camp that would sometimes be making a mini documentary commercial rather than even telling the people what the product is. So you see those two extremes. To me, an iconic ad does both really well, where you're introducing differentiation through the story, and you're, setting the brand up to have like an aspirational element that the, CMOs of the past would do. So to me, I feel like it still works in a different way. A viral video could win organically for a period of time, then you'd boost it with paid. I think just having the asset and using it wherever you can, that creative video, maybe it finds its way to TV, maybe you're running it, every platform to Pinterest now lets you run video ads. And in most cases, people don't take advantage of that. They're trying to automate their display. And so you'll see display get spread wide, but I love to add the video element on top because most people don't take the time to do it. And you can now run those everywhere. And, one of my favorite things to reference when you talk about advertising is people are always looking for the next thing. Sometimes taking a step back is the way to go. Like, as much as TikTok gets massive followers, people still make more money off of YouTube, and the inventory is so high compared to the amount of people bidding against it. So YouTube's something I still greatly value, whereas most people have moved on. But it's one of the largest marketplaces with the highest watch time, with higher intent than the scroll channels. So, leveraging a good, iconic, viral video on YouTube and boosting it is still an amazing tactic that works really, really well.
All right, time for the reality check. What is not working? What's cooling off?
Yeah, the answer I always go to when people ask me this kind of question is checklist marketing, which is people just do stuff because the CEO, the board is like, how come we're not doing this? And so they'll do all these things, but they won't do anything well. And when I look at companies that find a way to break through, even legacy companies that are trying to gain a new moment of momentum, it's the ones that do a couple things really well. So maybe there is some staff doing the checklist stuff, but when you have a team with the flexibility to do something different and memorable and creative outside of that checklist world, you can really make a splash, and you can do something special, and you can drive revenue and brand lift. And then, I feel like a lot of people have gotten attached to, I love working with a good partner and agency, but companies have gotten too used to paying that same PR firm for 5 years that doesn't create any lift. They need people and products that are moving as fast as their brand. So like even a great agency needs to move as fast as you are. And in the past, that wasn't the case. So that's something I'm seeing cooling down, is people settling for mediocrity. So really, to me, it's that checklist mindset and mediocre results. Like, people just aren't patient for that anymore.
That's wise. We're seeing that a lot too. A lot of impatience for slow moving, a lot of impatience for disconnected data, impatience for lack of evidence, right? If whether things are performing or not. And the expectation should be higher. Data is more connected, measurement is more precise, targeting is more precise, right? That's awesome. So you've seen brands from inside as CMO and outside as a fractional CMO across multiple companies. What is the most common thing that brands are still spending on, still investing in that they shouldn't be?
Oh man. If anything, I kind of view it the opposite, as companies with too many decision makers struggle to have a point of view. And I mean, there's definitely channels that people are spending on where it's not efficient and it's different per brand. But I actually see the opposite as the biggest problem. Like in marketing, most people are overthinking and they're not doing anything,
Hmm.
or they're just doing their normal social posts. They're just doing, we've got 5 ads we're testing. To me, it's more about, find something that works, lean in really hard, push harder, scale fast, because, the windows are shrinking of winning in the market before somebody copies you. Or, if you're B2B, somebody can duplicate your tool through Cloud Code pretty quick now. Or if you're B2C and you're a consumer play, China's going to be knocking it off pretty quick. So these days you need to move fast and make noise now, build brand, build followers, and get people passionate about what you're doing. So I'm not answering that really well and naming one platform where people are spending, but to me, my brain totally reverses on that question to finding what works quickly and really accelerating in that fast. But yeah, to me, it's they don't have a point of view. Is
Mm.
often they want their brand is so generic. It's the same black and white website that you see everybody use, or now you see the Cloud Code same site with the or the mauve, or not mauve, like the tan
Yeah.
and black. Like, when it's the same old, and having a point of view is something that I think will help people escape from that mediocrity.
And something else you just said that I think the audience is really going to love is pushing for a reality check around market windows, that
Yeah.
they're not as long as they used to be, right? Building a durable company is still the right way to approach, I think, strategy, but you have these sprint windows that have to evolve, and you have
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
glad you
constantly
clarified
creating a
that.
new one.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained it that way, because I didn't want to say like, oh, every business should be churn and burn now. I still
Yeah.
think there can be lasting, very successful businesses, but I think the sprint window that you're referencing is a smart way to look at it.
All right, Alex, what is making you happier lately, and what is making you smarter lately?
Happier. I've been getting in the sun a lot more. Like, I've always loved the
Yeah.
outdoors, but this summer I went to the Carolina coast, spent a week out there. I was born and raised in the South and love it out there. I've been spending just a lot of time outside in the sun, which I've loved. What's making me smarter is I have a 21-year-old son that's just like got the entrepreneur bug. And we sit down every night on the couch in the basement and just discuss ideas. And it's so cool to get his perspective from his generation and think about what matters to him and his friends. And it helps me think about audience, ICP a little bit different. And so, yeah, just collaborating with somebody I care about and learning from him has been something that's helping me learn for sure.
Yeah, and I bet that's making you happier too.
Oh yeah.
I
This is like the worst phase of life. I've got my kids are like leaving the house now, and
mm,
I've loved raising kids. So I'm a little bit sad, to be honest. So anytime I can get with them is great.
oh, I love that. Well, Alex, thank you so much for joining and sharing those learnings with your fellow marketers. That is today's Heat Check. If this was useful, please send it to another marketing leader who's making hard calls right now. The more we share what's actually working, the better we all get. Today's episode is brought to you by Minky Couture, makers of the softest, most luxurious blankets you will ever wrap yourself in. These aren't just blankets, they're the ones your family fights over on movie night. From adult sizes, tall sizes, mini blankets for the littles, every Minky's made with premium fabric that stays buttery soft after every wash. So treat yourself or send one as a gift to people, to give them a gift that they actually remember. So check them out at minkycouture.com.
An
Subscribe.
endorsement for me. We're big
Yeah.
fans of Minky Couture.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm glad you said something. Same. We love them and give them as gifts. They genuinely, it's a gift that people remember. They keep using it. They think about you every time they use it. It's awesome. Well, subscribe to the Advertising Heat Check to learn the best of what's working in advertising today from top marketers in the arena every day.